my beloved child. It's me, your Father in heaven, not a distant deity sitting on a high, unreachable throne, but a loving parent who bends low, who leans close, whose breath is nearer to you than your own shadow. Today, I want to whisper something simple and eternal into your soul. Everything will be fine. Yes, everything. Even the things you cannot imagine healing, even the pain you haven't dared to name aloud. I know your heart is tired. I know you carry more than you admit. You try to hold it all together, to stay strong for everyone, but I see you. I see the quiet tremble behind your smile. I see how your hands clench at night, trying to keep the fear from crawling in. I see the weight of the questions you don't speak. Will it ever get better? Does anyone truly understand what I'm going through? Is God even paying attention? Let me answer you with unwavering truth. Yes, I see it all. I feel it all with you. And no, you are not invisible. You are known. And more than that, you are loved. Give me your hand, child. Don't pull away. Even if it's trembling, even if you feel unsure or undeserving, especially then, I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be honest, to open your weary heart to me, to let me walk with you, not just in the victories, but through the valley, through the confusion, through the messy, unfinished parts of your life. You've carried these burdens for too long. It's time to lay them down. The worries about tomorrow, place them in my hands. The regret about yesterday, release it to my grace. The pressure to fix everything, be everything, hold everything, let me hold you instead. You are not made to carry the world. You were made to walk with the one who does. Let me guide you. Not with force, but with gentleness. Not with guilt, but with love. I want to take you to quiet places, to green pastures and still waters, not just physically, but in your spirit, where your soul can finally breathe again. I want to speak life into the parts of you that feel numb. I want to restore the joy that was stolen. I want to revive the dream you buried years ago. I want to remind you that peace is not the absence of trouble, but the presence of me. So rest, beloved. Lay your head against my chest. Let your tears fall freely. I count everyone. Let me rock you in my arms like a child who doesn't have to have it all figured out. Let me fight the battles you've grown too tired to name. Let me love you, not the version of you that feels put together, but the version sitting here now, exhausted, anxious, needing something deeper than words. I've been waiting for this moment, and I will not waste it. My love is not temporary. It will not fade with your failures. It does not withdraw into your darkness. It does not shrink from your doubt. I loved you yesterday. I love you still. And I will keep loving you through every chapter, every silence, every scar, because you are mine, and I will never let you go. If this reached a tender part of your heart, comment, "I'm listening." Let it be your first word back to the one who never stopped speaking. My child, let's sit together in the quiet. You don't have to say a word. I already know what's on your heart, but I want you to feel what you often forget. You are safe with me, even here. Even now, I know the fear that hides behind your strength. I see the racing thoughts, the anxious loops your mind runs in when the world goes quiet. I see how you check your phone, hoping for answers. How do you distract yourself to avoid sinking into the stillness? But stillness is not something to fear. It's where I speak the loudest. Come back to stillness with me. Let the world keep spinning. You don't have to. You've tried so hard to hold it all together, to stay composed, to be responsible, to stay ahead of what might go wrong. But I never asked you to hold what I promised to carry. Lay it down now, all of it. The what-ifs that gnaw at your peace, the silent fears about your health, The ache for the ones you can't control or save. The unspoken exhaustion that has lived in your bones for far too long. Breathe, beloved. Just breathe. I am not disappointed in your fear. I am not angry at your doubts. They don't scare me. They draw me closer because I know you need me more. You've looked around and thought, why do others seem so calm while I feel like I'm drowning? But you're not seeing their storm, and you're not alone in yours. Even now, while your heart aches for peace, I am wrapping you in it. Peace is not a reward for good behavior. It is my gift to you because you are my child. Because I delight in calming your storms. And know, the storm outside you may not end today, but the storm within you can. You've been waiting for circumstances to shift before allowing yourself to feel safe again. But I say feel safe now, right here, right in the middle of uncertainty, because I am here, and I am greater than anything that threatens your peace. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the sound of my love. Let me remind you what matters most. Your soul, your relationships, the beauty of kindness, the richness of simple things, a quiet prayer, a gentle breath, a heart open to me. Be kind to yourself this season. Stop judging your pace. Stop measuring yourself by other people's timelines. You are not behind. You are exactly where I need you to be to do what I've called you to do. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to rest in the arms of the one who does. When fear whispers, you're not ready, remember, I am your readiness. When anxiety screams, what if it all falls apart? Remember, I hold all things together. When loneliness says, you are unseen, come back to Mimi presence, where you are fully known, fully loved, and never left. You were never meant to carry the weight of the future. You were meant to walk with me day by day, step by step, heartbeat by heartbeat. So today, let this be your prayer. I release control, I receive peace. I choose to walk with God. If you're choosing peace over panic today, comment, I choose peace. Let it be your whisper of surrender, and I'll meet you in it. My beloved child, I know what it feels like when the walls begin to close in, when the plans you held so tightly start unraveling right in your hands, when the people you counted on walk away, when your strength is gone and all that's left is a quiet ache and a voice inside asking, what now? I've seen you trying to stay calm while everything around you feels unstable. I've watched as you hid your panic behind polite smiles. You kept showing up strong, composed, dependable, but inside, you've been breaking quietly. You haven't told anyone. You didn't want to be a burden. You thought maybe it would pass. You convinced yourself that if you could just push through one more week, or get past this one hard conversation, things would get better. But here's the truth, child. I never asked you to survive alone. I never expected you to be unshaken. I never built you to carry the weight of the world without help. That's why I'm here. Not to scold you, not to say, I told you so, but to gently lift your chin and look you in the eyes and say, it's okay, you're safe now. You don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to keep it all together. You don't have to perform for me. I know how tired you are. The kind of tired that sleep can't fix. The kind of tired that settles into your bones. The kind that makes you feel like you're walking through fog, fighting battles no one sees. Let me hold you in this place. Yes, even here, especially here, because this is where the healing begins. You see ruin, but I see soil. You see loss, but I see space for something new. Sometimes my greatest work begins in the moments that feel like an end. You think the ground beneath you is falling apart, but child, I am the ground, and I do not give way. I do not collapse under pressure. I do not abandon when the weight gets heavy. Lean on me. Let your tears fall. Let your body rest. Let your heart breathe. You don't have to understand what I'm doing to trust that it's good. I know you're afraid to hope again. I know the last time you believed, it costs you something, and part of you doesn't want to risk that pain again. But can I tell you something sacred? Hope in me is never wasted. Even when it looks like nothing is happening, even when the door stays shut longer than you expected, I am still moving. You may not see the full picture yet, but I do, and it is beautiful. It is tender and strong and full of glory. So don't give up. Not now. Not when you've come this far. Not when your tears have watered the soil that is about to bloom. You've prayed in the dark. You've held on with trembling hands, and heaven has recorded every moment. Your perseverance is not small. Your faith is not unnoticed. Your pain has not been wasted. I have seen it all, and I will redeem it all. Your breakthrough is not behind you, it's ahead. If this spoke to the part of you that's been quietly breaking, comment, "Still standing," because the truth is, you are. And that, dear one, is a miracle in itself. My precious child, let's talk about the silence. The long, aching silence that stretches through your nights. The kind that makes you wonder if I've stopped listening, if I've grown tired of your voice, if my love for you has faded like the prayers you no longer whisper aloud. I know how deeply it hurts, when you used to feel me so clearly, and now it's just stillness. No sign, no stirring, no answers. Just a heavy quiet that settles over your soul like fog. You've whispered, "God, are you still here?" And let me answer that now, as clearly as the sun pierces the morning. Yes, I am here. I have never left. You see, my child, silence does not mean absence, and hiddenness is not abandonment. Sometimes I am closer than ever in the quiet, watching, holding, waiting for your heart to slow down, so I can speak not to your ears, but to your soul. You are used to seeing me in fireworks, in miracles, in the songs that made you weep with joy. And yes, I am there, but I am also in the mundane, in the dishes you wash, in the sigh you release at the end of the day, in the child's laughter you didn't expect to soften your heart, in the bread you almost forgot to notice. You want me to move loudly. But what if this season is about learning to hear me in the whisper? I'm still guiding you, even when the sky looks cloudy, even when the prayers feel unanswered, even when you feel more numb than full of faith. Faith is not a feeling, child. It's not a spiritual high. Faith is choosing to stay, even when everything in you wants to run. Faith is trusting I'm still working, even when you can't trace my hand. And oh, how pleased I am with your faithfulness in the quiet. You don't realize how powerful it is that you keep showing up, that you keep praying short, honest prayers like, "God, I don't know what to say, but I'm here." That you keep choosing kindness when bitterness would feel easier. That you keep breathing through the silence, still holding on. Let me tell you something sacred. This silent season is not a punishment, it's a preparation, because there are things I can build in you only in the quiet. Resilience, spiritual maturity, depth that doesn't depend on circumstances. This season is stretching you, yes, but not to break you, to grow you, to root you so deeply in me that no storm will ever shake you again. You're learning to trust me in the dark. And when you walk into the light again, because you will, you'll shine brighter than before. You won't just carry faith for yourself. You'll carry it for others. You'll speak with a gentleness that only comes from knowing. What does it mean to feel alone? And realize you never truly were. So be patient with yourself. Don't curse the silence. Let it soften you. Let it invite you into deeper waters. And when the doubt creeps in, come back to this truth. I never stopped loving you. I never stopped being proud of you. And I never stopped being near. Even in the silence, your name has never left my lips. If you felt that long, holy silence and stayed anyway, comment, still here. Let it be your quiet anthem of faith. Let heaven echo with your endurance. My child, let's talk about the parts of your story that still sting. The ones you keep hidden behind smiles. The chapters you've closed and tried to forget, but still ache like they happened yesterday. I see the pain you don't share, the grief you've tried to bury, the moments when you whispered, "I'm okay," but inside, you were anything but. You've learned how to function in the world with wounds that never fully healed. You've become skilled at hiding your brokenness. You even began to believe it was noble to stay quiet, to be the strong one, to survive without complaint. But I see beneath the surface, and I want to go there with you. You don't have to be afraid of me seeing all of it. The betrayal, the disappointment, the mistakes, the shame, I already know. I was there. I never looked away. Not even when you wanted me to. Not even when you thought. There's no way God would want anything to do with someone like me. Let me say this gently and clearly. I never turned away. Not once. Not when you feel. Not when you lashed out. Not when you numbed your pain. Not when you blamed yourself for things that were never your fault. I was with you. In the hospital room. In the argument that shattered everything. At the moment, you heard words that broke your identity. In the silence after goodbye. In the lonely nights you couldn't tell anyone about. And I'm still here. But now, I don't want to just watch you carry this pain. I want to carry it with you. I want to enter the rooms of your heart you've locked for years. And sit with you in them. Not to rush you. Not to fix you. But to show you that even in those places, you are still loved. Let me touch what's been infected by lies. Let me rewrite the beliefs that grew from your wounds, that you're unworthy, that you're too much, that you'll always be alone, that healing is for other people, not for you. None of those is true. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are not a mistake. You are my child. And I specialize in restoration. Where others saw you as broken beyond repair, I see beauty rising from the ashes. Where you saw failure, I see the start of something sacred. I know it takes courage to let me into your pain, to stop pretending you're fine, to finally say, I'm hurting, but this is the first step toward wholeness. And you don't have to take it alone. You won't scare me away. You won't overwhelm me. You won't exhaust me with your grief. I am not human. I do not grow tired of compassion. Bring it all. Every memory, every scar, every fear, every tear. Let me hold you the way no one ever did. Let me sit beside the 6-year-old version of you, the 13-year-old, the heartbroken adult, and let me say what you've always longed to hear. I see you. It wasn't your fault. You are not alone, and you are still worthy of love. Your past does not cancel your purpose. Your pain does not disqualify your calling. Your scars are not signs of shame. They are places where my light can shine through. Let me heal what they broke. Let me show you who you've always been, before the world tried to tell you otherwise. You don't need to hide anymore. This is holy ground now, and healing has already begun. If you're ready to let go of what's been hurting you for too long, comment, I'm healing. This is your invitation. This is your turning point. My child, let's talk about the chains you've carried for too long. Some of them you put on yourself. For others, the world revolves around your heart. Words spoken over you. Lies whispered into your identity. Moments that rewrote how you saw yourself. Not in truth, but in pain. You've been trying to outrun the past. to outrun the memories, the failures, the things you wish you could undo. But I need you to know, freedom isn't found in running. It's found in returning to me. Because I don't want you to live in fear of your past anymore. I want to set you free from it. Not by pretending it didn't happen. Not by ignoring the ache, but by walking straight into it, together, and rewriting the ending. You see ashes, but I see that beauty is still possible. You see waste, but I see wisdom being born. No chapter of your story is unusable in my hands. None. Yes, you made mistakes. Yes, you trusted people who broke your heart. Yes, you tried to numb the pain instead of healing it. But I have never called you on your worst day. I have always called you by your real name. Loved, chosen, redeemed, free. It's time to stop carrying what I already paid for. That shame that keeps echoing, silence it with my grace. That guilt that haunts you, wash it in my mercy. That fear that says, you'll never change, confront it with my promise. I make all things new. You don't have to punish yourself anymore. I took the punishment already. I carried the weight. I broke the curse. I opened the door. You are free. Even if you don't feel it yet. Even if you still walk with a limp from the wounds. Even if others try to remind you who you were. Freedom is not a feeling. It's a spiritual reality, and I'm inviting you to walk in it. Let go of the belief that healing means forgetting. You don't have to forget to be free. You just have to stop letting the pain define you. Forgiveness, it's not about pretending it didn't hurt. It's about choosing not to stay bound to the people who hurt you. You're not excusing them. You're releasing yourself. And, child, you deserve to be free. You deserve to wake up and not dread the weight of yesterday. You deserve to look in the mirror and see someone who's growing, not failing. You deserve to laugh without guilt, to dream without apology, to rest without shame. You deserve to believe in goodness again, not because you've earned it, but because I've paid for it, with my love, with my own life. So today, I'm not just calling you out for your past. I'm calling you into your future, into wholeness, into hope, into newness. The chains are broken, the door is open, and I am standing here, hand extended, saying, come, let's walk forward. If you're ready to stop living in yesterday, come on, I'm stepping forward. Today is not the end. It's your beginning, my precious one. There's something you need to hear again. With clarity, with tenderness, with power. You are not weak. You are not fragile. You are not a victim of your life. You are a warrior. Yes, a warrior. Even when you feel anything but strong. Even when your legs tremble and your voice shakes. Even when your pillow is soaked with silent tears no one else sees. Because the strength I see in you isn't defined by loudness or pride. It's defined by how you've kept showing up, kept believing, kept hoping even after disappointment. You've mistaken survival for shame, but I see it for what it truly is: resilience, spiritual muscle, the quiet, holy kind of courage that's formed in fire. I've watched you walk through storms that should have taken you out, and yet you still rise, you still care, you still tree. And that is more powerful than you realize. You've allowed the world to label you. You're too emotional. You're too sensitive. You're not good enough. You're just average. You're a mess. But those labels were never mine. I never called you because of your failure. I never called you during your worst moment. I've always called you by your identity in me. Redeemed, righteous, beloved, warrior. I need you to stop agreeing with the enemy about who you are. I need you to stop repeating curses over your life. Start declaring the truth. Even if your voice shakes, even if your heart hesitates, say it anyway. I am strong. I am chosen. I am a vessel of light. I am who God says I am. You don't need to prove anything to me. You don't need a resume of perfection. You don't need to fix everything before I can use you. I don't use flawless. I use the faithful, and you, child, are faithful. You kept walking when your heart was heavy. You have prayed when you barely believed. You have shown kindness while carrying your own. You have stayed when leaving seemed easier. You have loved people who didn't love you back. That is the path of a warrior. So lift your head, not in pride, but in truth. You were never meant to live bowed down in shame. Your story is not over. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too late to matter. You are rising, and I am raising you. You are not overlooked in heaven. You are not forgotten in the kingdom. You are seen, named, honored, because you are mine. Let me dress you in the armor of peace. Let me place in your hand the sword of truth. Let me breathe courage back into your lungs. You do not fight alone. You never have. Even when you didn't see me, I was fighting for you in the spirit, canceling assignments of darkness, covering you when you didn't know you needed covering. Now, walk like the warrior you are, not to impress, not to perform, but to remember who you are and whose you are. The enemy knows who you are. That's why he tried to break you early, but he failed. You're still standing, and you will stand again tomorrow, and the day after that, until the promise is fulfilled. If you're choosing to stand in your true identity, comment, warrior. Let the heavens and your soul agree. You are not broken, you are rising. My beloved child, can we talk about hope again? I know you've learned to lower your expectations, to hope carefully, to expect little so the pain hurts less, to pray with one eye open, just in case the answer never comes. I understand why you've done that. Disappointment has a way of settling in like dust, quietly, gradually, until it coats every dream, every desire, making it feel safer not to believe. But today, I want to dust off your dreams. I want to breathe life into the places that have gone cold, because your season is shifting, and I don't want you to miss what I'm doing. Just because it's not wrapped the way you expected, I'm still the God of suddenly, the God of open doors, the God who parts seas and raises the dead. But I'm also the God of process, the God of slow miracles, the God who works in whispers and builds breakthroughs in the quiet. You've been faithful with little. You've sounded in tears. You've given in secret. You've forgiven when it hurt. You've obeyed when it didn't make sense. And now I am bringing you into harvest. This won't be a small shift. This won't be a surface level change. This will be deep. This will be personal. This will be unmistakably me. I've watched you stay when others walked away. I've seen you kneel when you could have given up. And I've heard every prayer, even the ones you gave up on halfway through. Nothing has been wasted. Not one day. Not one seed. Not one act of obedience. Not one tear on your pillow. Now the clouds are breaking. Now the tide is turning. Now the promise is breathing again. You don't need to manufacture your miracle. You only need to position your heart to receive it. Let go of the timeline. Let go of the formula. Let go of the idea that it has to look a certain way. I am the God who writes new endings. The God who answers in ways far beyond what you've imagined. The God who never forgets the prayers whispered from the deepest ache. There are things you prayed for years ago that are just now reaching the surface, because the roots had to go deep first, because your heart had to be ready, because the foundation had to be firm enough to hold what's coming. And what's coming, child? It's weighty, it's holy, it's good. So lift your eyes. Don't look down anymore in shame or fear. Look ahead. Look up. Expect again. Wake up each day and say, "This could be the day." Go to sleep each night and say, "God is still moving while I rest." Because I am. Even while you sleep, I'm orchestrating goodness. Even while you wait, I'm writing the details. Even while you're unsure, I'm unwavering. Let your heart make room for the miraculous. Not because you deserve it, but I love to give good gifts to my children. And you, my child, you are about to be surprised by how much joy still lives inside you. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't lost your purpose. You are right on time for your miracle. If you're ready to believe again, if you feel something stirring deep inside, comment harvest. Let it be your seed of expectation. I will meet you in it. My dear child, I see how you look at the future, not with excitement, but with hesitation. You've learned to brace yourself for the worst. You've rehearsed every possible outcome in your mind. You've tried to stay ahead of disappointment by expecting it before it arrives, but that's not how I want you to live. You were never meant to walk forward in fear. You were made to move through life with faith, not because everything is predictable, but because I am present. Yes, child, I am already in your tomorrow. While you're worrying about what's next, I've already been there. I've walked the paths you'll take. I've stood in the rooms you'll enter. I've prepared peace for the moments you fear most. You don't need to carry every what if, like a backpack full of bricks. You don't have to be your protector. That's my job. I'm not saying the road ahead will be perfect, but I am promising this. You will never walk it alone. I will walk with you into the unknown, into the new job, into the doctor's office, into the relationship, into the hard decision, into the room full of strangers, into the season you didn't choose. And I will never, ever let go of your hand. You've asked me so many times, what if I mess it up? And here's my answer. You are not powerful enough to ruin my plan for your life. You might take a detour, you might slow down, but you will not be lost. Because I know how to reroute. I know how to restore. I know how to redeem. Your future is not a mystery to me. It's a masterpiece in progress. I've placed every person, every door, every lesson, every delay, every divine moment is in perfect order. And even what was meant to harm you, I'll use that too. I don't waste pain. I don't waste tears. I don't waste time. Even your mistakes, I weave them into wisdom. Even your waiting, I turn it into a strength. So breathe, beloved. Take the pressure off yourself. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to trust the one who holds the pen. And I do. I hold the pen. I've written every chapter, not just the ones you like, but also the ones that didn't make sense at the time. And I promise you, when it all comes together, you'll see the beauty in how I wove it, how nothing was random, how no season was wasted. The people you love, they're in my care. Your family, covered by my hand. Your finances, provided for by my promise. Your health, held in my mercy. Your purpose, protected by heaven. So stop letting fear narrate your story. Stop giving anxiety the microphone. Stop letting the enemy define your tomorrow. Let me define it. Your future is full of hope. Your future is full of me, and I am good. Let me plant this truth deep inside you. You are not walking into danger. You are walking into destiny. You are not walking into confusion. You are walking into clarity. You are not walking into darkness. You are walking into light, because I go before you, and I make all things ready. If you're choosing to trust me with what's ahead, comment, "In your hands." Let that be your release, and I'll take care of the rest. My beloved child, let me say this as clearly and gently as I can. You are mine, not because you prayed the perfect prayers, not because you followed every rule, not because you've earned a spot in my presence, You are mine because I chose you. Before the foundation of the world, before you took your first breath, before you ever said my name. And nothing, absolutely nothing can change that. Not the moments you've doubted me, not the times you walked away, not the seasons when you chose silence instead of surrender, not your anger, not your apathy, not even your deepest regret. I have never loved a future version of you more than I love you right now. You don't have to clean yourself up to come closer. You don't have to prove your worth to be held by me. You don't have to beg for affection that has always been freely given. You are not trying to earn your way back to me. You're already home. I've been waiting at the edge of the road, watching for you, hoping you'd turn toward me again. Not so I could scold you, but so I could run to you, so I could wrap my arms around you and whisper, I never left, I never stopped loving you. You're safe now. You may feel unsteady, but my love is unshakable. You may feel like everything is falling apart, but I am still holding you together. You may wonder, God, will you give up on me? And I say with all of heaven behind my voice, never, never, not today. Not tomorrow, not when you fail, not when you forget, not when the world lets you down, not when the grief returns, not when the questions linger, not when the tears come. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. I will never change my mind about you. Even when you change your mind about yourself, you see weakness, I see potential. You see brokenness, I see a vessel of glory. You see a life that feels small. I see eternity moving through your every step. Your life is not meaningless. Your story is not over. Your presence in this world still matters, because I placed you here, and I never make mistakes. So, when the enemy whispers lies, that you've failed too many times, that no one sees you, that it's too late for you, come back to me. Let me speak the truth to you again. You are loved. You are wanted. You are needed. You are seen. You are forgiven. You are chosen. And above all, you are mine. You don't have to carry everything anymore. Give it to me. Let me lift the burdens. Let me speak peace to the storm inside your chest. Let me restore your wonder, your joy, your sense of purpose. Let me teach you how to live again. Not just survive, but thrive. You were made for more than coping. You were made for communion with me. Let me walk beside you each day. Let me whisper the truth into your decisions. Let me remind you, moment by moment, that no matter what happens, I've got you. Even when the world feels loud, even when the pressure mounts, even when the answers don't come quickly, my hand will still be holding yours. I know your name. I know your thoughts. I know your future. And I know exactly what you need, even when you don't. So let me be your father. Let me be your comfort. Let me be your healer. Let me be your home. You are not too far. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are right on time for my mercy. You are right where grace meets restoration, and grace never runs out. This is your reminder. This is your permission. This is your invitation. Come back. Come home. Come close. And never forget, child, no matter what, I will never let you go. If this message became your anchor today, if you feel the tears of return, if something deep inside you whispered, thank you, comment, I'm yours. Let that be your final word tonight, and let me carry you through the rest. My child, now that the tears have slowed, now that your spirit has exhaled, let me show you what it means to walk with me, not just in prayer, but in life, because this is not the end of your encounter. This is the beginning of your awakening. Your healing was not meant to stay in a moment. It was meant to flow into movement. I want to walk with you through your ordinary hours, not just in moments of desperation, but in your breakfast routine, In your commute, in your conversations, in your laughter, I want to live with you. Not as an idea, but as a presence, a person, a constant friend. Let me be the one you speak to first when you wake up. Let me guide your decision, shape your words, and soften your heart when the world makes it hard. You've cried out to me in the dark. Now let's walk together in the light. You've learned to trust me with your brokenness. Now let me teach you how to thrive in peace. You've surrendered the shame. Now learn to live in joy. You've left the prison. Now learn to move in freedom. Because the child, I didn't just free you to feel better. I freed you so you could live better, so you could love with less fear, so you could forgive without keeping score, so you could rise with confidence and lie down with rest. Let me write new rhythms into your days, where rest is not weakness, where stillness is not wasted time, where love is not earned but received, and where faith is not just believed, but breathed. You will fall again. Yes, you will forget again. You will have days when the storm feels louder than the song, but this time, you'll remember. You'll know where to run. You'll recognize my voice again. Because now, we walk as one. I'm not just the God who heals. I'm the God who stays. So let's begin again tomorrow. With coffee, or tears, or silence, whatever you bring, I'll meet you there. If you want this to be your new rhythm, comment, walk with me. Let it be your daily prayer, and I will walk with you through it all. My child, I know you often wonder, does God understand what I'm going through? Does he speak to someone like me? Let me speak now to your exact situation. Let my words wrap around your heart like a tailored robe of comfort. Because yes, I see you. I know your ache. And I have a promise for you. To the one who is grieving, I saw the goodbye, the empty chair, the scent that lingers long after they're gone. I know how the world kept spinning, but you stood still. You wondered, will I ever laugh again without guilt? Child, you will. Because I am the God who walks through the valleys of shadow, not around them, through them. You will not be stuck in sorrow. I will restore joy, gently, not by erasing the memory, but by resurrecting your capacity to feel hope again. To the one fighting illness, your body feels like a battlefield. You feel betrayed by the flesh you live in, the tests, the scans, the waiting, the fear. But hear me, you are not forgotten in the hospital room. I am your healer, and healing comes in many forms. Sometimes in miracles, sometimes in medicine, always in the presence. Whether your healing is today or through eternity, you will never face it alone. I hold your breath. I collect your tears, and I have not stopped fighting for you. To the one who feels completely alone, I see the bed that feels too big, the inbox that stays empty, the phone that never rings first. You wonder, if I disappeared tomorrow, would anyone even notice? Yes, I would. I always have. You are not invisible in my kingdom. You are deeply known, and I place the lonely in families. Not always the one you expect, but the one your soul needs. The community will come, in divine timing. But first, let me be your company, because my companionship is not second best. It is sacred. To the one who keeps waiting for a breakthrough, you've tried every door. You've sown faithfully. You've prayed the same prayer for what feels like a lifetime, and heaven still feels silent. I know how tired your hope has become, but child, not every seed blooms in the same season. Your wait is not a punishment. It's a preparation. Don't quit 5 minutes before the shift. Don't uproot what's still growing beneath the soil. Stay rooted. Stay ready. Your suddenly is on the horizon. And when it comes, you'll realize why it took the time it did. To the one who feels they've gone too far, your past feels too heavy. Your choices are too dark. You've counted yourself out before anyone else could. But hear me, I don't see you as damaged goods. I don't flinch at your sin. I already paid for it. And nothing disqualifies you from grace. Come home. Let me wash you clean. Let me restore what shame tried to steal. You are not the worst thing you've done. You are the beloved child of a forgiving God. To the numb one, you don't even know what you feel anymore. You're not angry. You're not joyful. Just tired, disconnected, flat. That's okay. I'm not asking you to feel something. I'm just asking you to stay. Let me hold your soul even when your emotions are asleep. Healing will come, not through effort, but through trust. You don't need fireworks. You need presence. And I am here. If you saw yourself in any of these, comment. That's me. Heaven already knew, but sometimes writing it is the first step to healing. My child, you've often asked, how do I stay close to you once the tears stop? How do I hold on to peace when the prayer ends? Where do I find you when life returns to routine? The answer is not complicated. It's not hidden in mystery. It's right here in the smallest things. Because I am not only the God of miracles and mountaintops, I am the God of mornings and Mondays. I am in the rhythm of your everyday. When you open your eyes, I am in the breath you take before your feet touch the floor. When you wash your face, let that be your first prayer. Thank you, Lord, for giving me another day. When you drink water, let it be a reminder that I refresh your soul, drop by drop, moment by moment. When you make your coffee or tea, invite me to sit with you. Yes, there, at your table, at your kitchen counter, at the bench near your window. I am not looking for long speeches, just your presence, just a glance in my direction, just a whispered thought. God, I know you're here. When you walk, talk to me. When you drive, worship softly. When you eat, give thanks, even silently. When you trust, knowing I am watching over you. This is how we stay close. Through attention, through awareness, through invitation. You don't need incense. You don't need perfect theology. You don't need a quiet room and an hour of stillness. You just need to remember, I am already with you. So include-me in your parenting, in your deadlines, in your grocery shopping, in your budgeting, in your frustrations. Pause and breathe me in. I am the God who delights in walking with you through the ordinary, because the ordinary becomes holy. When you do it with me, even folding laundry can be sacred. When your heart says, I'm grateful for the people I work for, even washing dishes can be worship. When you hum a hymn over the sound of water, even driving in traffic can become pray. Or when you turn down the noise and just sit with me, let every small thing become a seed of communion. Do you want to stay close to me? Then don't compartmentalize me. Don't place me in the Sunday box. Don't reserve me only for emergencies. I want all of you, and I want to be in all of it. The sacred is not somewhere else. It's right here, right now, in this breath, in this space, in your awareness. And when you forget, I'll still be here, still waiting for a glance, still listening for the whisper. God, I missed you, and I'll answer every time, I never left. If you want to begin this simple rhythm of walking with God in your daily life, comment, stay close. Let this be the beginning of a new kind of intimacy, not dramatic but real, not distant but constant. My child, let's talk about the silence again, but this time, not as something to fear, not the absence of me, but in another way I speak. You've been taught to measure my presence by volume, by how loudly you hear me, by how emotional you feel, by how the signs appear. But I need you to understand, I'm not only in the thunder, I'm in the stillness. When your prayers feel like echoes in an empty room, when your Bible feels unreadable, when worship doesn't stir your emotions, when your heart feels flat, that's not abandonment. That's an invitation. Invitation to deeper listening, into stiller water, into a kind of love that doesn't need fireworks to be real. You've heard my voice in passion. Now learn to hear it in peace. You've seen my movement in miracles. Now feel me in breath. Because I am not insecure. I don't need to shout to prove I'm near. I speak in a whisper, so you'll learn to lean in, not out of fear, but intimacy. I slow you down with silence, so you can hear your heartbeat again and realize I'm in the rhythm of it. I'll stop the noise so you'll realize it's not answers you need, it's awareness. Awareness that I'm here, with you, not fixing everything at once, but faithful in everything, always. I know silence can be hard. It brings up thoughts you'd rather avoid, memories you tried to outrun, questions you never dared ask. But I am not afraid of your honesty. You can say it all in silence. You can scream without sound. You can cry without words. And I will answer without interrupting. Sometimes I speak best when I say nothing at all, because my silence is not indifference, it's depth. It's the pause between the notes that gives the music meaning. So don't rush past the quiet. Sit in it. Let it hold you. Let it stretch you. Let it reveal what noise was hiding. And when your heart asks, "Where are you, God?" remember this: I am the silence that stays, the quiet that never leaves, the pause that still loves. I am not gone. I am deeper now, closer than ever. If you're learning to embrace the silence instead of fearing it, comment "I'm listening." Sometimes the softest faith is the strongest kind. Sometimes the quietest place is where I speak the loudest. My dear child, you've forgiven others. You've extended grace to those who hurt you. You've even prayed blessings over people who never said sorry. But there's one person you still struggle to release. One person you still punish quietly, every single day. You. I see the way you carry it. The memory that loops in your mind. The sentence you wish you had ever said. The choice you wish you had never made. The moment that still makes your stomach sink. You try to push it down, but it always returns. In silence, in shame, in the soft accusations you whisper to yourself when no one is listening. And when others affirm you, you smile. But deep inside you think, if only they knew what I've done. But I know, I've always known, and I haven't turned away, not once. You believe in my forgiveness, but you haven't yet received it as yours. You think you need to keep paying for what you did. You think remorse is repentance. You think punishment is holiness. You think that carrying the guilt somehow proves you've changed. But child, listen closely. You are not made for permanent punishment. You are made for mercy. And mercy is only real when you apply it to yourself too. You are not more righteous than I am. Oh, stop holding on to what I already let go of. Stop reopening wounds I already healed. Stop picking up chains I already broke. You don't have to keep apologizing to me for the same thing. Once was enough. The cross covered it. My blood finished it. Grace already wrapped around it. Now the only one still accusing you is you. And I want to speak to that voice right now. The one inside that says, you'll never be worthy. You should have known better. You lost too much time. You don't deserve another chance. That voice is not mine. My voice says, you are forgiven. You are made new. You are not your worst day. You are not what you regret. You are mine. Let yourself breathe again. Let yourself sleep without guilt. Let yourself look in the mirror and see someone who's becoming, not someone who's broken. You cannot walk into your future if you keep chaining yourself to yesterday. Release yourself. You're not doing grace any favors by rejecting it. You're not honoring me by hating yourself. Let me show you how to be kind to your soul, to speak gently to the child within you who tried their best, to offer compassion to the version of you that didn't know better. That version of you was doing the best they could with what they had. And now you know more. You've grown, and I delight in your growth. So speak these words out loud, even if your voice trembles. I forgive myself. I am not who I was. I receive the mercy God already gave me. Let those words settle into your bones. Say them again when shame rises. Say them again when guilt whispers. And remember, you are not fighting me by letting go. You are walking with me toward freedom. If today you're choosing to forgive yourself, comment, "I release it." That may be the bravest prayer you'll ever pray, and I will honor it with healing. My beloved, you've never asked for a spotlight. You've never chased applause. You're not the loudest in the room, not the one others write books about. But heaven sees you, and I am proud of you. You think your life is small. You think your obedience goes unnoticed. You wonder if showing up day after day, doing the same quiet things, has any eternal weight. Let me assure you, it does, more than you know. You wake up early and whisper my name before the sun rises. You fold laundry with gratitude. You pray for your children even when they don't see. You keep giving even when your hands feel empty. You forgive even when no one says thank you. You love even when it costs you comfort. You choose me again and again, not in grand gestures, but in small hidden faithfulness. That, my child, is strength. That is worship. That is greatness in my kingdom. The world may not write headlines about it, but I write it down. Every quiet yes, every unseen sacrifice, every time you choose patience over retaliation, every time you bit your tongue, close your screen, turn the other cheek. You are not weak. You are strong in the ways that matter. Your prayers move mountains you'll never see fall. Your faith waters seeds that others will one day harvest. Your kindness echoes into souls you didn't know were listening. I am shaping history through people like you, not the flashy, but the faithful, not the platformed, but the prayerful, not the popular, but the persistent. Do not despise your hidden season. Do not believe the lie that says impact must be visible to be real. I see the long nights you've kept believing, the mornings you've risen when you wanted to quit, the battles you've fought in secret, the tears you've cried into pillows soaked with intercession. You are a warrior clothed in humility, a builder of invisible altars, a guardian of peace in places no one else can see. And I am building something with your life, something that cannot be shaken, something eternal. So don't compare, don't count followers, don't measure your purpose by numbers or nods. You are not called to be impressive. You are called to be faithful, and you are. You are still here, still praying, still believing, still forgiving, still pressing on. And heaven is applauding you, even if no one else does. If this spoke to the part of you that no one celebrates, comment, still faithful, because that's what you are, and that's what changes the world. My child, let's talk about the promises, the ones you've written in journals, the ones you've whispered through tears, the ones you've repeated again and again, not to remind me, but to try and remind yourself to believe. I know it's been a long time. I know the waiting has worn you thin. I know some days hope feels like a chore, not a joy. Some mornings you stare at the same closed doors and wonder, was that really God, or was it just my heart? Let me answer you plainly. It was me. That promise, I said it. I meant it. And I haven't changed my mind. But child, a delayed promise is not a broken one. And my silence does not mean I've forgotten. Every word I've spoken still stands. Heaven doesn't operate on your calendar, but it honors your faith. And faith, true faith, it is forged in waiting. You see, what I've promised you is real, but so is the preparation, so is the protection, so is the pruning. Some blessings would have crushed you if I gave them too soon. There are doors you prayed for that would have led you away from me. There are people you begged me to keep that I had to remove to make space for what's coming. I never said the road would be easy. I said it would be worth it. I said I would walk it with you, and I have. Even when you couldn't see me moving, I was rearranging things behind the scenes. Even when you thought I was distant, I was planting seeds under soil that felt dry and lifeless. Even when you thought the promise had died, I was wrapping it in resurrection. Because my words don't expire, they don't fade, they don't get lost in translation. They are living, breathing, eternal. So hold on, not to the timeline, but to the truth. Not to the outcome, but to me. Even when everything says, it's too late, I missed it, it's over. Let me say this in return: I make all things new, and that includes what you thought was too far gone. So, dust off the promise. Take it back down from the shelf. Speak it again, not as a demand, but as an agreement. Say, I still believe. Say, even no. Say, God, do it your way, in your time, and I will wait. Because waiting for you is not wasted time. It is sacred time, and those who wait on me will never be put to shame. If you're still waiting, still hoping, still holding on by even one thread of faith, comment, I still believe. I tool, because your faith is not foolish. It is seen, known, and soon fulfilled. My beloved child, you have listened long. You have opened your heart wide, and heaven has seen it all. Now go, not with fear, but with fullness. Walk through your days with gentleness toward yourself. Look in the mirror and speak kindly. Show up slowly. Rest when your soul asks. Pray without pressure. Trust without rushing. And love without fear. Let this be your rhythm. Breathe. Believe. Belong. You are never walking alone. My voice will follow you into every room. My favor will go before you into every season. My mercy will rise to meet you every morning, and my love will never let you go. So live, with joy, with trust, with bold, quiet faith. And when you forget again, because you will, come back here. I'll be waiting. Until then, remember, you are seen, you are chosen, you are mine, and you are deeply, endlessly, eternally loved. Amen and amen.